Hello, I am Chylli from channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back with more modded Library of Ruina. Last time we left off, I died a little inside as we fought against the Gray Tempest. That was really painful. I did not like that at all. And this time, we're just gonna keep on moving to the right here. Oh boy. Purple tears. Is this what you were talking about? Your name was on the library invitation letter. I don't think he died just to get me to the library. Angela, what was that? Did he send an invitation to someone else? Yes, you've seen a lot of different guests so far. Based on the collection of different books, I picked out a few books myself and sent them in. I'm sure you'll get some information we don't know about, even if it's a guest who didn't get an invitation. This translation is pretty rough. So you're saying the library isn't supposed to be... So what book did you use? I sent in a couple of books on urban fixers. Looked like your guest caught the book on Purple Tear. However, I'm the one who's going to entertain you, so I'd be happy to discuss it with you before I do. And yet you've been so well entertained by the Black Silence, haven't you? I'm looking forward to it. Well, I'd like to get used to it too. You have that guy's book here. Welcome, my guest. I'm Angela, the director and librarian here. Oh, nice to meet you. I don't know what to say. What's wrong? I'm sorry, you said hi and I wanted to answer. Just pretend I'm a humble fixer. No problem. And is there really a book of the Purple Tear here? I'm a little incredulous. Yes, you can have it if you can bear the test. Or sorry, beat the test. Well, if it's a lie, there's no way of knowing. Okay, I've said enough. Let's get started. Yes, may you find your book here. I think this one might be pretty rough as well, maybe. We'll see how it goes here. Okay, at least the rolls here aren't too crazy. Sure has a lot of health, he does. Well, I'll try to inflict as much bind and paralysis as possible here. But so far this seems to be going fairly easily. Seems like he fluctuates between different factions here. Well, those are really shitty rules there. Jesus Christ, that's really strong. Beat up should be able to match it here. Oh, okay, so yeah, that's the Anna Association. So far, this is going really well for us, though. Okay, and now we're over to the Liu Association. Finally got ourselves someone limit here. Okay, yeah, I thought this might be bad, but we're doing pretty well here. Looks like he's taking a page from Roland's book here. Oh, that wasn't too good there. And we're built up to use Solemn Lament again. Oh, I didn't know you could seal dice. That's okay, because I can seal his right back. Okay, let's see how this goes here. Wow, double shot is insane. And there we go, that was fairly easy. Due in part to how brokenly overpowered Yassad's floor is. This time I was surprised. I didn't expect him to use a similar technique to our previous guests. I saw occasional cracks running down the guest's body. Could it be an ego? I don't think it's an ego. That was rather... What do you think? I've seen guys like that in the past. Wing experiments and stuff. Mentioned when he first came to the library that wing researchers sometimes kidnap people in back alleys. Oh, and it's too risky to use a singularity without any research, so people use the experiments. can be abandoned in the back streets and outskirts. Could it be that guest? If so, what kind of singularity is that? I wonder. I don't know about all the singularities, but as far as I know, I don't think I've seen anything that wields the kind of power so many people, different people like that. It's possible that the technology is unstable, underdeveloped, and hasn't been designated a singularity yet. Not sure now. Thanks for your help this time anyway. Just remember that we'll be doing more of these in the future. Alright, I'm going to the art floor. Take care of the books. Alright, let's see what we got here. I do find the translation funny. But alright, that's all pretty interesting. But alright, let's move on to our next reception here. That one was nice and quick. Annihilant Dragon. Alright, let's see how this goes. We can use 3 floors. So before we get into that, let's make sure we have 3 floors set up. And right, that looks fine for 3 floors. And let's just get right into it here. Actually, hang on a second here. Is that supposed to be the sequel to another thing? Hang on, let me check really quickly. I think that might be the sequel to this one, maybe? Untranslated. Is that a sequel to Magic Workshop? I think it might be. Either way, I guess we'll just do Magic Workshop first really quickly. Unfortunately, actually, we can get a clash in here. For a second, I thought I was too slow to actually clash anything there. Wait, that guy had a 2, so I could have clashed something anyway. Alright, easily outrode them there. These guys are weaker than I was expecting here. Well, you won't see me complaining. Weak is just the way I like 'em. 'Cause that makes it easier on me, and I don't have to spend 2 hours doing it. Suffice to say, the Gray Tempest made me quite upset. Was not expecting to have to spend 2 hours on that. I expected maybe an hour, hour 30 at best. Alright, and on we go to Act 2 here. Okay, so yeah, this is a sequel. Or that was a sequel. Because here's the iris that was mentioned in there. First turn shockwave is always nice. There we go, I think that should do here. And use our mass attack there. Another mass attack. Oh, we killed 2 of them. I wasn't really paying attention to their HP, I didn't expect that. And there we go, we got him. Not too bad. I think we'll do the second reception as well before we actually burn these books. I can't read any of that. Yeah, let's go on to Annihilant Dragon. Switch over to piercing stance here. Wow, he was rolling pretty high there. Okay, that looks good to me. And we have power nullification, so that's fun. I think we want to have him full. Got him up to 10 smoke now. Okay, so we're gonna roll higher than that. Okay, I think that should be good. I think we'll let the top two die so their stuff can go over to our other guy here. I was hoping to have Yasad die by now, but that's okay. And there we go, we got him. That was also not very long. And that's all I can read. Damn, it sucks being illiterate. And let's see what we get here. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Reuse. Alright, well, let's do another one then. Okay, well, the Gray Tempest made me kind of unsure about doing the monochrome dragon right now. So let's see if there's anything else we can do here. Okay, just taking another look around to see if there was anything else. Oh, this is... I don't remember the name right now. This way, the entrance to the sewer is just up ahead. Quick, get in here. We're going to burrow underground to shake them off while the third wave of sweepers are still making their advance. Team Captain, just who are they? What are we doing in this place? Are we really dealing with those robins up in the sky? Are you really breaking down on me right now? Hold on, it's just over there. Hurry up. We managed to escape the culling of the ravens. We didn't make it this far just to die at the hands of these other birds. Locate the extermination target. Perform a dive landing immediately. Fuck, we're not gonna make it. Damn it, get out of the way! That robin in the sky is burning. Ah, the stars are falling. Extermination progress advanced significantly. Remaining extermination targets 1. Proceeding to the next target. As if I'll let you... Man, this feels disgusting. How long has it been since I had to use such a crude weapon to kill someone? But it's not like using it to deal with some stupid machine wearing human skin is within the grounds of murder, is it? Am I really going to die here too? Escape seems hopeless when you're dealing with a bunch of enemies that can fly. Damn it, even if it's just me, I should be able to sell everything I know about the ravens to W Corp once I make it to their nest. Those ungrateful little brats, not only did they jump over to the Phoenix's side, but now they're also looking to get rid of us. Locate the extermination target, performing a dive landing immediately. Locate the extermination target, perform a dive landing immediately in the form of a pincer attack. Is this the end? Fuck. The target has ceased activity, commencing search for any remaining survivors. Command, search. Start alerting the perimeter. No life signs found in the living creatures. No life signs found in the living creatures. All assigned team leaders are to gather. Good work, everyone. I've received all your consciousness reports, and the mission still appears to have been a success despite everything. Though it looks like the enemy was stronger than we initially thought this time around. Where are the casualties suffered by each team? Command error. Battle damage statistics are not included in the available procedures designated by the Master. View post-mortem statistics? No, that won't be necessary. I think I can sense it. A number of channels from our network of thought have been severed just now. It would be better if we begin preparations for the cremation of your comrades' bodies here first. Please make sure to confirm their statuses before cremating them. Command, confirmation. No life signs detected. Command, cremation. Equipment removal procedure in progress. Cremation range has been set. Initialize the preheating process. Increasing celestial energy at input rate. The current rate is 1.774 PeV per second. Equipment removal procedures complete. Non-abandoned objects within cremation range are to be excluded. To all my sisters who died here so courageously, and to all the innocent reindeers, I'm sorry. May every one of you have a good night's sleep. Delta 314, calling Team Leader Jasper. I repeat, Delta 314, calling Team's Leader Jasper. This is the 44th generation Jasper. Did the scouts team find anything? The consciousness report of Sigma Priority has been sent to Team's Leader Jasper. Please check it post-haste. Sigma Priority, is it that urgent? Well, better check it out now before it's too late. Over. All known information concerning the crying children has been reported. So in other words, your team's mission to track down the crying children failed? The target was taken away by yesterday's promise in the blink of an eye. All team members lost track of their positions. The blue reverberation and the 8 o'clock circuits were also there to stop us. I'm very sorry, Master. Yes, looks like you know how to apologize, but what use is there in apologizing? Do you really think that uttering some apology is going to lead us right to the crying children's doorstep? One apology revealed the reasoning for its distortion. No apology makes up for any failure. Not only did you fail to track down the crying children, but you also didn't even obtain anything remotely useful about yesterday's promise. This was all due to your incompetence in the end. You simply failed to grasp what was such an important opportunity. Our Delta team is willing to pay any price to compensate the Master for our failures. We humbly ask the Master for our next assignment. Only actions can prove one's worth. Words are so feeble and pale in comparison. Let's give you one last chance. It won't be long before you receive your next task, so be prepared. If this ends up being a blunder like last time, then I'll have you all on standby for cremation. But before that, notify Team's Leader Jasper at Sigma Priority that I want to see her in person. Understood, Master. It will be done. Master wants to see me in person? But I was just there this afternoon. Life is short and every second counts. We highly suggest you to please act decisively. Of course I understand. I can understand everything all of you understand. To keep things brief, Omega Team, please return to patrol mode after completing the cremation procedure. Command Patrol added to the end of the queue. And please, look after yourselves. Who is it now? Come in and stop wasting time. Well then, if you would excuse me, Master. Oh. What did you mean by excuse me? You're the Jasper I chose out of tens of thousands. So you're supposed to be by my side all the time, right? But even so, I'm nowhere near as good as the real Jasper. Hey, are you still thinking about how you don't deserve your name again, despite the fact that I was the one who personally gave it to you? No, there can't possibly be any fault in the Master's insight. It's just that I have not already serviced it today. Master's body, I mean. I want to be with you again tonight, under the starry sky of the city, can't I, my lovely Jasper? That's not what I meant, but as long as the Master wants it, then... That's right, my Jasper should be obedient. But well, I wanted to see you for something else this time, and guess what? Something else? The next executive meeting should be approaching, I assume. The higher-ups have a new task for us? Correct! OrcCorp has landed itself in quite some big trouble, and now the fourth pack is being slaughtered by the Ravens. The other packs are also unable to function at their peak due to an energy shortage. So most of the important tasks at hand have been handed over to our phoenixes for now. No, the Umbral Legion. That's right, the Umbral Legion mod. The fourth pack is being slaughtered, and that must mean their mission to retrieve the books in the library failed? That's right. By the way, the information on Arcorp's singularity was left inside the library. So now those insidious and incompetent people from above have finally agreed to have you guys step in. And it looks like they're finally starting to resort to whatever it takes. It's going to be as they feared. We should be able to monopolize most of Arcorp's military power for ourselves after we're done with this. Then that means our mission this time would be to go to the library and retrieve the books there, right? However, our current celestial energy reserves are not abundant right now, and it's already been stretched even thinner just for staff augmentation recently. The library is now a star of the city, even the southern branch of the Liu Association and the fourth pack. Dispatched there were apparently no match for it. The sudden closure of the Spectrum Workshop and Cold Rain Workshop also led to a lack of maintenance for our equipment. If we continue to suffer any further losses in our numbers, I'm afraid... Jasper, this is my order. Understood. I shall obey the Master's orders. Besides, apart from the mission objectives, there's a certain book among the ones proposed by the library, which has certainly piqued my interest. The Book of Zhao. I've heard about her in the Consciousness report just now. Could she be the Section 1 director of the Liu Association Southern Branch? That's right. I doubt she would be involved with any of Arcorp's top management if we take her character into account. It appears this invitation was more of a bait for me than it was for Arcorp's top dogs. As you know now, I have one thing that needs to be done, so just try to pretend this is all for my sake, okay? If it's for my master, I understand. I have no objection. Nevertheless, I'm not one to advocate for unnecessary losses. The first step in our plan is to send a Delta scouting team there so they can send us a number of reports about everything they were able to gather from the library. This strategy would incur the least amount of losses while also netting us highly valuable information about the place. Sending only a team of scouts? You're not going to dispatch a team of executioners with them? The strength of the library is bottomless, so we can't just hand over our main forces to them right off the bat. In addition to that, we first have to measure how worthwhile the contents of Zhao's book will be. But in that case, the entire scouting team will... Jasper, do you still think there's something wrong with how I make decisions? No, I have no objections. I will immediately convey this task to the Delta team. Jasper, you used to be the only person who supported me in this vast universe. Why are you suddenly acting like this? Damn, what the hell did I just watch? You're telling me the captain of the famous Phoenix team is just some petulant child? How much do you know about them, Roland? Tell me everything. I don't really have any idea on what's going on right now. Everything about them has always been so shrouded. So as far as I know, the 6th pack fills up the role of Arcorp's special ops units. They seem to specialize in handling the stuff their more conventional troops normally can't. It said there used to be a bunch of teams, each responsible for a sorts of specific tasks. But the more specific ones are usually kept as secret by Arcorp themselves. The only one I'm somewhat aware of is the Robin team, who all excel in high-altitude combat. I sometimes saw them flying over the city on those migratory birds when I was a child. I heard later on that they accomplished something big and had their name changed to Phoenixes or something. As for how they went from Phoenixes to a legion of identical clones, I got nothing. Clones? In other words, they are beings who move freely in the city as beings who violate the Artificial Intelligence Ethics Amendment? You still care about that thing even though you're already so close to becoming human? No, I only wanted to clarify something. This may be one of the key clues to my attainment of the Absolute Book. There are other individuals who possess the same desires and emotions as I do, so why would the head be willing to make an exception for them? You shouldn't forget that this is the city, no? The head has the final say in everything that goes. The only reason the head hasn't done anything about it yet is if they think that it doesn't violate their taboos. Doesn't violate? Forget it. There's no point in blindly guessing like this without sufficient knowledge. Now please, give some priority on receiving our guests. Arrived at the target location. Beginning environmental survey. The specific composition of the building's materials could not be analyzed. Begin surface recognition. Abnormal vibrations in the space has been detected. Entering alert. Dear guests, welcome. I am Angela, the director and librarian of my role's namesake. Suspected organic target detected. Beginning analysis. Organic components of the target's body account for about 74.285%. Inorganic components account for about 12.480%. Remaining components are unknown. End of analysis. Target is quasi-human, not relevant to the mission objective. The books you're in search of are within this library. Pass the trial ahead and you'll be rewarded with them, but... Mission update. Pass the trial. Agree to take the trial and gain permission to take it as soon as possible. Is your master really that important to you? Are you not aware that every single one of you is merely disposable fodder in her eyes? For what reason are you all willing to throw yourselves away just to please her? The master is everything to us because we are nothing without our master. We were created by our master. If we cannot satisfy our master, then our existence will lose its meaning. Even if you are all created for the same person for a certain purpose, you should not be deprived of the right to think for yourselves. Have you not thought about making your own choice even once? Are there any shackles binding you which you cannot break free from? We have been thinking for a long... Termination of negotiations not related to the mission. Please lead us to the trial as soon as possible. Alas, may you find your book in this place. Alright, let's see how this goes here. One act of these deltas. Alright, let's see how this goes here. Alright, that looks good to me. Well, that wasn't very good there. And we should use our mass attack here. There we go, big damage. And mastered kill here. Yep, there we go. Roland, what were your thoughts on that? They're definitely still a long way ahead from resembling someone human, to say the least. They're like a group of dolls being toyed around with. The only thing they can really do is move towards their desired goal within us, without a single shred of thought for the hindrances in front of them. If this somehow ends up being the case, then the head won't just sit back and ignore it. Prosthetics in the city are forbidden from imitating natural human body parts or looking like one. Guessing that goes for artificial humans too. Maybe the logic to them not being treated as genuine humans could be something else then? They chose to abandon their will along with their emotions. Not one of them displayed even a tiny fraction of selfishness as well. While these are only my preliminary guesses, didn't I distinguish myself from them at the very least? They follow everything the Master tells them to do. However, my goal of exacting my vengeance on that man is entirely of my own volition. But did I perhaps make the wrong choice? What would have happened if I had given up on my own struggle at the beginning and became just like them? What's right and what's wrong won't be enough to judge you at this point. Besides, is this really how you want to picture them? No matter how much you try to spin it, they're only a bunch of metal jars under the guise of a human's body. After all, those girls are still purely the playthings of that master of theirs in the end. No, their bodies are the same as that of a human beings. They're not what you would call machines. They somehow just gave up on any notion of thinking for themselves and utterly took the accomplishing of the tasks their master gave them as a reason for their existence. I once thought so too a long time ago. I gave up on my own thoughts when I realized I couldn't put any form of resistance. But I wasn't about to let up completely. All I could see back then was some cruel apparition and standing before me. I could still somehow visualize it, even if I were to tightly shut my eyes. If I were to give up just like that, then who would be there to witness all the sacrifices everyone has to make? And who would be there to witness the lives of those who were left behind? We know about all that, Angela. Just try not to think too much about it. Their choices are theirs alone, and yours are yours alone. The paths you take have nothing to do with each other, and it's not like we're also obligated to follow after what the others chose to do. That said, I just have to find out what works for me through watching and reading the experiences of these people. Especially that leader of theirs they call Jasper. I want to understand the reasoning behind her not being cast out of the city. If I ever do get the chance, I'll have to read her book. Just leave it to me. I'm gonna take good care of her. Well, if she does come to the library, that is. And I must burn these Delta books. I feel like Starlight Diffraction could be pretty good. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, that's where we're gonna leave it off for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time when we continue with more modded Library of Ruina. Until then, bye!